gentleman's time has expired. With that, the gentleman from Massachusetts, Mr. Lynch, is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to begin by just saying there's a certain element of disingenuousness in terms of the Republican position on abuse of women in the workplace. We hear much complain about it here with respect to a Democratic appointee, Mr. Grunberg, who's admitted that he's leaving the office. But yet, I just want to point this out. All my Republican colleagues are supporting, President Trump, former President Trump, who has got an atrocious and long record of poor treatment. Not only poor treatment, but
Mr. Chairman,
I'm speaking. This is my time. And remember, the relevance here is the next president will appoint the FDIC chair that we're questioning conduct of today. So this is about the fitness and the true and genuine concerns that my colleagues have with respect to what has happened here. Let's put aside for a minute the fact that he's a convicted felon on a deal with a porn star, that the
Mr. Chairman, that is not
potential
correct.
Time
That is
belongs
not-
to
that
the
is not
gentleman from
correct.
This is my time.
Madam
This is my
Ranking
time.
Member, I have it.
Yes.
This is
Hold
my
on.
time. This
Hold
is my
on.
time. A civil
Suspend.
conviction by a jury.
The gentleman will suspend, just a moment. We'll suspend the clock. So the gentleman cannot interrupt that way, and I would remind the gentleman from Massachusetts to direct his remarks to the chair.
Yes.
And you will have your time. With that, the clock may resume.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I respect that, and I appreciate that. And we're talking about someone who has been convicted by a jury in a civil court for sexual abuse. And then, I could have brought in a tape here of the Access Hollywood thing where he talked about how he, grabs women's genitals and kisses them, right off the bat, So I just want to rebalance this about what we're doing here today. And if we're truly concerned about the way women are treated in the workplace, there's real reason to question, the genuineness of the criticism on my colleague's part. I do want to ask, though, I'm a former union president. Let's get to the workplace here. I'm a former union president. I was a union steward before I was a union president. In the workplace, if some of this stuff, which was totally unacceptable, and I totally agree with the factual basis of the record and the investigation, why was not Mr. Kim or Ms. Menu, why was not the union involved here? As a union steward, I would have been the first person in the workplace to know about that activity, and there would have been a duty of fair representation on my part as a union steward to go to bat for those women, for those employees that were being treated like that. What happened here? You did the investigation. What happened so this is a union workplace, the NTEU, National Treasury Employees Union, is the collective bargaining representative for these employees, I believe. So what happened? What happened there? Where was the breakdown there?
Thank you, Congressman. You're correct that the National Treasury Employees Union is the relevant union here, and as we explained in our report, we spoke to union representatives as part of our effort to understand the scope of issues relating to interpersonal misconduct at the FDIC. And in terms of the union's role, the union did have a role in providing support, both to employees.
How many grievances were filed? That would be the normal. If I'm the union steward, I would file a grievance every single time something like that happened. How many grievances were filed?
We know that grievances were filed along with complaints under the anti-harassment program and under the FDIC's equal employment opportunity policy.
Okay. And where did those grievances go? Was there a procedure where they could be addressed?
There was a four-step process, and the first step was for any grievances to go to a supervisor, all the way up to the chair or the chair's designate.
How many were sustained? How many grievances were sustained, and how many? What action happened as a result of that?
What we say in our report is that insufficient disciplinary actions were taken in response to allegations of interpersonal misconduct. And one of the statistics we cite is from the FDIC's reports that it made to Congress, that out of 92 complaints that were made between 2015 and 2023 under the FDIC's anti-harassment policy, the most serious disciplinary action that was taken was suspensions, and that was in 2 instances.
Gentleman's time has expired.
Thank you for your indulgence, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And Chair would also like to remind the members up here about what the hearing is supposed to be about, but also about Rule 17. Rules of decorum do require us to not impugn members, other members, the president, or we would include nominees in that. And with that, the gentleman from, and I will also note.
Will the gentleman yield?
I will not. I will also note that the folks may use their 5 minutes as they wish.
Parliamentary
What is the
inquiry.
gentlewoman's parliamentary inquiry?
I want to be sure about what you are advising us. Are you advising us that we're not to make any statements about the president?
No?
Would you please clarify?
I would like us to adhere to Rule 17, which says that we should not mischaracterize members or current members of government or past members of government. That is it.
Despite
So with the
facts.
gentleman from Texas is recognized.